is to know, from masterpieces to deep fried tacos. And if the movie sucks, you might hear them say, there's no telling where the guys will take you. Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already warned you. Better watch out, it's gonna ruin the plot. Real spoilers. Real spoilers. Real spoilers.
Broadcasting from the lush but not lavish studios, kind of, sort of, but not really, located in the basement of the O'Keefe Institute for Advanced Film Snarkitude. This is Real Spoilers, episode 743, Fast X. Right?
There it is.
No. It's actually
you said it wrong, so it's
actually fast.
It
It's actually Fast 11, I guess.
we were instructed
to
refer to it as Fast 10.
Oh, for real?
So they
Yeah,
could put
because
Fast 10 your seatbelts on all the posters.
No, they didn't.
But
I mean,
they should have.
Yeah, Kevin, don't give away ideas. Like, that's a good idea.
But no, it's because it's literally a number. You're not supposed to say Fast X. It's Fast 10.
And also,
Okay.
Kevin's not giving away a good idea, because if it's a clever idea, they won't use it.
That's true.
So
That's a great point.
if there's anything this franchise has taught us, they will not use clever ideas. So
Post 5. Yes, you're right.
yes. So let's go around the virtual table and everyone can introduce themselves.
This is Joe.
This is Kevin.
This is Matt.
Tom. There he is. I was going to introduce you.
Oh, he's out of the rotation already. That was quick.
Son of a-
I tried.
Yeah. Matt's here. Did you watch all 9 leading up this weekend?
Look,
See, this is how when you're new and hungry, you're willing to do all these things, and now that you feel
No.
You've gotten a bite at the apple.
yeah,
I
it is.
had to see this movie at the earliest screening that I could get to, so I could go. I had a float trip planned, and if you're if you're listening outside the Midwest, that it's when you get in a inflatable thing and float down a river, and that's
Did you tube it? Did you raft it, or did you canoe it?
raft, big
Swell.
old
Well done.
raft. Everybody, it's mainly a thing where everybody just gets out of their minds, wasted. I don't poison my body with that stuff, so it's an interesting experience for me. Just watching people get more out of their minds. Similar to a movie franchise. I raced back this morning. Everybody else is still down there. I said, Courtney, I said to my lover, I said, can somebody give you a ride back so I can get back to talk about this movie? It's very important to me.
How did that go? How did that go over?
No, fine. Good.
Well, she has a new boyfriend.
No
but-
problem. We're cool. We're chill. You know, it's kind of like Mia. You know, in a way, it's like how like Mia and Brian
How they
spend
never
no time
actually-
together.
Yeah, right.
Or she's off in peril watching her nephew while Brian's with their kid, who I think might be 22 by now. I don't really know.
When did she say that? When did she find out she's pregnant? That's got to be 5,
I don't
right?
know,
Because he's
man.
in 5. He's
Matt's
in 5.
seen those movies, the most recent.
But
It might have
anyway,
been a couple years ago.
Tom, I guess just what I'm getting at is shame on you for questioning my dedication here.
I forgot that character was married to him. I have no idea who these people are. They're
I don't
all
think
just,
that they're married.
Are they
Maybe
not married? I don't know.
I don't think so.
They're fairly religious. I'm sure they are by now.
Judging by that cross that keeps showing up.
It's a common law marriage, and you know how much respect they have for the law.
Absolutely.
So,
Stealing
before
Blu-ray
we
DVD players.
dig into this thing, shameless plugs. Don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you're there, be sure and follow us. You never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. I've been told we've got a new one.
We do. From CM Seamus. It's a 5-star review.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah. Get to the movie already is the name of I love you guys and have been listening for years now. However, the latest episode of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 took 51 minutes to actually start talking about the movie. I get that you like to banter and talk off topic, but at least sprinkle in a little back and forth. It would have been more enjoyable to listen if you had started up by talking about the movie, parts of the movie, and then went on tangents. Well, CM, things got off the rails with that episode. And
Well, but
Hey,
I feel
man.
like we talked about the movie. We just didn't go beat by beat
We
until
did not.
pretty deep into the movie. But we were talking about Guardians related things. Like we weren't
Yes.
just, but yeah,
but
Fair
don't
enough.
don't worry, CM. We'll get to it real quick in this one.
that's our brand. That's our brand.
That's right.
So also don't forget you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/real spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group. It's called the League of Show Shares. We're hoping you'll share an episode. People who were kind enough to do that last week include Gabriel Lugo, Lane Levanway, Tammy Lynn, Powers Betts, Chris Magic Man, Julianne Jordan, Ralph Tribble, Chris Valls, who's all cleaned up from last week,
Good
Phil
job.
Timon, Dissect That Film, Christopher Rex, Invasion of the Remake, Colby Mack, Spoiler Piece Theater, Heather Sachs, David Rojas, Vertigay 314, In Session Film, Geek to Me Radio, Feel and Film, Ryan Terry, Nostalgia Cast, Binge Movies, and Mike, and Oscar. So thank you very much for sharing an episode. And finally, don't forget we have a Patreon, patreon.com/real spoilers. And for $5 a month, you get all sorts of bonus content, and we like you extra.
And there's a
Talking about-
tie-in to this
There's
movie.
a tie-in.
There's a
Unrelated, but completely by accident is the tie-in. Yeah.
And we're talking about like
director.
good movies over there. So
That would be
director-
unrelated.
the director of this film is the director of The Incredible Hulk, which is the second movie in the MCU Phase 1.
That's right. And that's is it up? I don't pay attention.
Not well, I don't have a time machine. I don't have a DeLorean
Perfect.
like some people do in this movie. But
What the
we'll see. I don't know. They'll know
Yeah.
when they're listening to this.
Okay, cool. This movie's terrible. Like it's
What?
on
Well, yeah.
but like Fast 5 I think is where they figure it out, right? Where they
Fast
figure-
5 is great.
Yes.
Fast 5 is such a fun action movie. If there's anything they can do to this franchise to kind of like elevate street racing, cool, heist, cool. Okay, we all love Point Break. That's great. They did that. But it's like Fast 5 is like, okay, espionage or action, going across the world. But where this franchise goes off the rails is when they try to be superheroes. It just doesn't work.
But based on box office, we're wrong.
we've been
for
wrong
quality
before.
film, Transformers movies make over $1 billion. It doesn't have to do with what makes the most money and explosions go boom and everything. But these movies have gotten so bad because the characters are street racers. They are not superheroes and they are not secret agents. And so
there's a line in this movie where
This movie has either the best line in the history of the franchise or the worst line in the history of the franchise. I honestly am conflicted, but I literally laughed out loud at how
can I say I have no idea which line you're talking about?
Yeah, there's
I
so
may go
many
with
I don't
worst
know.
right now. But just
What is
what
it?
is it?
it's like practically the last line of the movie where he's like trapped on the bridge and he's like, "You made one mistake. You forgot to take away my car." And I'm like,
So-
I was
oh, yeah.
like, "Oh my god,
we're
that
gonna
is
go-
the stupidest."
Wait,
You never had me. You never had my car.
Wait a minute. You're gonna say that is gonna top out such lines as "You came to the streets and the streets always win."
Oh,
or
man.
"Bet on the streets." Because I mean, like, dude, the lines in these movies are so freaking bad.
I feel. Look, I know people like this is like a cliche thing to say now, but like this could have been an AI written script.
You're not wrong. I totally
And-
agree
and-
with you.
And usually people make that joke because it just fits the points of a movie. Like it's just kind of generic. But they would say things like, "Do you know what it takes to be the right guy in the place where you come from?" And then the person would go like, "What's that?" And they'd say, "Friends never let friends turn their back on a skyrocket." Or just, and then everyone's like going like, "Yeah, man, you're right." And I'm trying to
I'll
piece
do you
together what
one
the
better.
hell they meant.
I'll do you one better about the dialogue in this movie, and it's not even about the quality of the dialogue, although it's bad. It's that I would estimate about 2/3 of the dialogue is spoken in situations in which there is no conceivable way the other person could be hearing them.
So many times I
I-
want someone
I
to
honestly-
go to Dominic
I-
Toretto and go,
I-
"What?"
I
What'd you
honestly
say?
believe that 3/4 of this film they were not
Wasn't
filmed
I
together.
know. Well, like Jason Momoa standing next to a helicopter, you're like, you can't hear him, right? There's no way. I was thinking, you know what? I was
Doesn't
thinking,
matter how loud you are.
Seriously, the most impressed I was with this movie is I go, their microphones are great on set because you can hear Jason Momoa perfectly clear, and I believe there is a helicopter, unless it's just really good CG. I'm like, there's a helicopter behind him, and you can hear him.
It's crazy because
Or ADR.
Well, that's true.
True, but I mean, it looked
good
like he
ADR.
was saying it. I mean,
Yeah.
hats off.
I think that they had something, right? Like this whole franchise, starting at whichever one where they bring back Han or they rehab Han. No,
He's in
they
Tokyo
rehab-
Drift is when he's introduced.
right? But when do they kill him? They kill him in Tokyo
They
Drift.
kill
Because that
Tokyo
takes
Drift,
place
then
in the future.
Three,
Which
4,
is just
5
crazy.
Are prequels.
Yeah.
I think six or 7 is where we come
catch
back
up.
into the main. Like,
So
post Tokyo Drift.
What they have done with every single one of these movies is whoever the bad guy is in the last movie
Becomes
they,
family.
They rehab him or her.
I sent you guys a message. I was talking to Kevin or someone, and I was like, you're like a bad guy, but like Charlize Theron. Like I was like saying like, but you're like the one that will never be good.
You can't. You because you killed Vin's baby mama.
It was a joke. I didn't really mean that.
Jason, but they okay. But here is the ultimate problem I think in these movies is there are absolutely zero stakes.
Not
I don't,
anymore.
I don't care
Not
anymore
anymore.
because every single person that dies.
No, John Cena
comes
died
back.
in this one.
Oh
That's
yeah,
true,
uh-huh.
he did.
Did you see the body? I'm going show. I was talking to Ryan. We saw this movie together, and I go, show me the body. I go, John Cena's not dead. 100% based on history of these movies, he's not dead. No
Joe,
way.
how in order do we have to go? How in order do we have to go?
So I
'Cause
don't
if-
think we have to go in that order. So like this movie, we're talking about Fast Five. only
Just say
because-
family every once in a while. They'll
Yeah,
think you're
right,
talking
right.
about the plot.
I,
It's fine.
I just real quick, I do have to give them credit for the fact that someone at least addresses the fact that everyone who interacts with these people ends up becoming one of them. Like
Yes.
it's
That was
Yeah.
Alan
Like, it's
Richardson.
actually-
But that's a problem. One of my problems with this whole thing is that I don't know how many hands are involved making
a
this.
lot.
But they all seem to have a different idea of what this is, right? Like some people
yes.
are in on the joke. Some people, Vin, who I don't even know if he has any real say.
Vin
he
Diesel
seems to
thinks
think
he is going to win an Oscar for these movies.
Right.
His
That's what it-
performance of these dramatic moments, it is obnoxious.
When he
and
said-
it's so bad he's
It's-
actually been barred from playing a character named Oscar. Like
yeah,
that's
I mean, the fact that he thinks that people are going to take his dramatic performances seriously, and I'm not saying the guy can't act. He has acted in the past, but with this material, where all he does is go family. Like you can't make that into a great. There's no
I gotta tell you,
material to work with.
Okay,
casting him as Groot was the best thing James Gunn has ever done.
Yeah.
because that's about as far as he
but
can get.
I think we need to talk though about Jason Momoa as Captain Jack Sparrow.
I thought he was
I
trying to be
think-
the Joker.
I saw the Joker too, and I saw the Jack Sparrow. I will tell you what is contrived as his performance.
At least he
is,
was doing something.
He is
Totally
the
agree with
best
you.
Part of this entire movie,
here-
hands down, the saving
So
grace of
here's
this film.
Everybody seems to be loving Jason Momoa.
No, I don't love it. I thought it was awful. I'm just giving him credit for trying something.
I don't
Here's what
love it, but I'm telling you, it was the most interesting part of the entire movie. I would have been so checked out without
I
his
thought it
stuff.
was insanely
Well,
offensive.
This is
See, that's where I landed. I'm like, I can't figure out if this is because like the character is so
I thought it
gay.
was
Like I don't know how else to
No,
say it.
he's not.
But-
That's how Jason Momoa is in real life. He wears purple scrunchies and stuff.
But
like
I
Jason
don't
Momoa
mean what
acts
he's
like
wearing.
that.
Even I mean
Like
his vocal inflections is very
like, wouldn't it be funny if I was acting gay? Right,
Yes.
right. Like that's kind of how it comes
Yes.
off.
Yeah, like he's like it's like not Fast and Furious, it's Fast and by Curious, and so like I spend the movie trying to figure out like is he pushing a boundary and I should be like this is kind of cool that he's doing this, or is this just more swishy, limp-wristed, let's make fun of gay people stuff. Like, I honestly don't know how to unpack it.
He's not gay though, because he
I know he's not gay.
women. No.
He
The
could be
character. The
could be bi.
character.
That's true.
The
But-
character shows interest in women in the movie, but he also, I think, has those. I think he's playing it like gender, like non-binary or bisexual. I think it's a very inclusive for a character in this level of a movie.
In a masculine, such a hyper masculine
to play
film.
it like
I
this.
could see
I
that.
do think so.
I think that to me, the way it comes off is like, you ever be like, you're doing like a serious thing, you're trying to get together with people and work on a thing, and somebody comes in and says a silly thing and gets a laugh, and then they keep doing like, they won't, like, you're going like, okay, man, but like, we do have to like film this now, okay? But they keep doing it and everyone else keeps laughing. And you're getting more frustrated because like everyone is encouraging it.
You're trying to do
and
a
you're just-
podcast and talk about the plot of
It's
a
like-
movie, and people
yeah,
are
like
like,
every
oh,
third
that's
episode.
tangents, and
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, right.
Yes. And then again, so it's like now you have Jason Momoa doing a different thing than Vin's doing, than the writers are doing.
And you can't tell any of these people no, I don't think. It's
No,
like,
I think that's where Justin
they-
Lin comes in, right?
They cast so many big name actors in these things, and they're all in almost, I mean, the top probably 4 or 5 people in this movie in any other movie would be the A-list above the title star of the film. And so it's got to be really hard to rein them in.
and
Well, also,
Oscar-winning actors in this movie,
Which
multiple.
is crazy. Just insane. I mean,
You've got
but-
Charlize Theron. You have
Helen Mirren,
Helen Mirren, and Brie Larson. You've got
Rita Moreno.
Rita Moreno. I'm like,
that
look at
was the one where I was like, what is happening
Man,
right
she's
now?
in this
Like,
movie for a cup of
Hey,
coffee, isn't she?
You know what, Rita? Get paid.
Totally.
Take
totally,
their
totally.
money. This is why it's so important for Social Security to be protected and safe, is so our
So she doesn't have to
legendary
do these-
actors don't
Yeah.
have to take roles like this.
She is in
It's-
her 90s. She's amazing for her age.
She looks fantastic
Seriously. I mean,
for
but
being
just
Dancing,
like,
man.
Yeah.
right, but
Lifetime of
like
cardio.
her faculties, the way she gets around. For in her 90s, she's very active. You know, like you see her in interviews, and it's just impressive that she's been a legend.
She was. Did you watch that reboot of One Day at a Time? She was great. That show was fun. I wish they kept it.
I didn't watch that, but I saw some clips from it. I've seen stuff of her. Like
She was in West Side Story.
I know. Yeah, I know she got a role in that, and she was good in that too as the store owner. But man, I was like, I thought she might be in it for more than one scene. But
No. She plays Dom's grandma.
Well, they couldn't. They had to. They had a scene where she was driving, but they had to cut it because she left the blinker on.
oh darn.
She was only going 300
okay.
miles an hour. She was just leaving it. But here,
Joe,
this
I
is
think this is where we would typically comment on her body. Did we want to say
you and I.
anything?
I think she looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
I
For
would
90,
absolutely,
without question.
100%. Okay.
Yeah, without question.
Helen Mirren
but-
or Rita Moreno?
Oh,
Hey,
well, we're going to
man.
talk about Helen Mirren.
Yes,
all
you know.
day. even yes. If have you watched Caligula yet?
Haven't
It's-
watched it yet.
It's not an
It's-
either or situation. It's an and.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly right. Yeah, but to Tom, to your point about the big name actors, there was this was kind of a Captain America First Avenger situation where the director whose name is on this movie did not do half this movie.
Yeah.
Justin Lin, who has directed the majority of these, was brought back. Did he do? How many has he done?
He did a little run of them. He did like 3 in a row.
He did Tokyo Drift.
So
he might
3.
have done the third one. He did the Han. That's why Han gets brought in. He's a Better Luck Tomorrow. That actor,
Which I
It's-
didn't realize.
Son
that,
Kang is a Justin Lin actor. You know, so he brought him with him.
but I didn't realize that Better Luck Tomorrow that Han is in that movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's the same character.
Oh, he's. There's question. It's questionable. I think.
Oh,
that,
okay.
I think there is a theory that he is Han in that movie, and that's the
Okay,
same one.
okay.
Same
But-
actor, same name. I don't know if
Same-
it's supposed to
kind
be
of
the same character, right? I think
right,
you should
that's
leave
the
because
question,
everyone's thinking.
the theory. But that's a great movie, Better Luck Tomorrow, and
Yes,
that's
it's
the one where
fantastic.
Roger Ebert stood up at Sundance or Cannes or wherever it was. and-
Also, I'm so
What?
tired of like, oh, it got a 9-minute standing ovation. I
What
don't
does
give
that
a
mean? Or, I mean, I know
Well,
what they
every
think it
movie gets
means,
a-
but
every
like,
movie
Yeah,
gets a-
right. It's
yeah.
not
I
like
saw
at this
something
point,
got
it's
a.
not even.
They said like a tepid 5-minute standing ovation
and
or
then,
something.
and, then
like,
and, and Top Gun got a raucous 5-minute. The same
Whatever.
publication said that was good. So it's such BS when people play the game with that. You know, it's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Before I forget, because I feel like there's a lot of things I'm going to forget to talk about.
and I'm going to come
it's
back
all-
and tell you about Justin Lin when you're done, okay?
Oh, no, please. You're
well,
right.
he
that.
did 6. He did 6 of these movies. So he did Tokyo Drift. He
Oh,
did
Joe's going to
Fast.
tell you.
Yeah, Fast and Furious in 09, Fast 5. So he did Fast 5 in 11, Fast 6 in 13. Then he did Star Trek Beyond, which I think was like one of those director swaps. And then he did Fast 9, and now
So
he's
did-
done this one.
No, so he did 4. He'd never got into production with this one. Louis Leterrier got hired in pre-production. He never directed any of this.
Okay, so he did 5 of them.
He did 4. Right?
3.
Oh, no. Oh, he did the reboot. He did 5. He did
Wait,
5.
I left to pee, and you're still trying to figure out how many movies this guy directed?
He
Well-
directed 5 of them.
He
Well,
directed
So he did
5. That
half
is-
of them. He did
that
half
is-
of the
He directed
franchise.
2 of them while I was out peeing.
Dude, this is what my review is going to say. I don't care about people's filmographies. 5 out of 5.
But I mean,
This
like
is-
this guy is like integral, or has been a massive piece of this franchise,
Sure.
and he couldn't get everybody under control. And he
He
said,
couldn't.
F
He couldn't get one
Vin.
person
Yeah,
under
he couldn't
control.
get Vin,
Let's
and he said,
be-
"I'm out.
Let's
I'm
be
done."
perfectly honest. It's the ego. The problem with these movies, and I know they make $1 billion. Problem in quotes. A lot of people see them. They make a lot of money. Quality wise, the problem with this movie, Vin, he wants complete control. He doesn't want his character to get hit. He doesn't want his character to look weak. He doesn't want his.
Oh, is he
character to
like
get scraped.
Curly Joe and the Three Stooges?
He just doesn't. He will not let his character look weak in any form, no matter what that means. And so, and I'm surprised they even addressed it in this one, where he's like, everyone thinks that I'm not afraid of anything, but I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my family. You know, like I'm surprised. he
Right,
even
but that's
said
like
that.
being afraid of how weak everybody else is.
Not me.
it's true,
I'm
true.
not the problem.
He's not afraid of
Everybody
dying.
else is
He's
weak
afraid
and
they'll
and-
die. You're
yeah, right.
So I don't know, man. It's just that you can't get a very interesting character unless they're like a superhero. But even they have some weaknesses. His character is so boring and bland.
I
Nothing
don't know if I
happens
talked
to
about
him.
it when we talked about 9. But like, for some reason I compare. Well, you compare it to Marvel movies a lot,
Yeah.
right? Big franchises. Captain America, I think Winter Soldier or something. I saw that one kind of recently. Captain America gets like shot in the side.
Yeah.
You know he's not going to die. You know that. But he's wounded. He's like limping. He's
He
having
gets
trouble.
hurt. Right.
And you know, okay, this man can die. Like he's a vulnerable
A
human.
the super soldier can get hurt.
Vin
Right.
doesn't get dirty. His
That is-
like white tank top or
There-
cut off shirt is
Yes.
sparkling
Immaculate.
clean.
I am so glad you
Yes.
brought that up. There's the scene with Michelle Rodriguez where she's climbing up what looks like a poop chute, and she is wearing like bright white pants and a bright white tank top, and she's like shimmying her way with her back up against the wall, up this whole like little chute, and then
How much heating do you think they have there?
Not
You didn't think she
I
knew it
don't
was
know.
cold
Tons,
until
I
she
guess.
opened the door. She
She was
didn't know
like,
it was
"Ooh,
cold.
it's chilly.
Like I mean, they're not heating that duct to the outdoor air. Like it's just so dumb. These movies.
But
are
she
so
drops
stupid.
down, and she's immaculate.
Yeah.
Not
Oh,
a,
yeah.
not a speck of dirt
She-
on her at all.
Did you the part where they're in the house at the beginning and she's
Wait a
in
minute.
like
Wait a minute. What is that door? Okay, that door goes to the outside, but there's no ladder. She has to shimmy up it. What is the purpose of that door and that vent?
For Michelle
Well-
Rodriguez to
Well,
shimmy her way up.
if there's no ladder to get there, why is there a hatch that
That's
opens
what I.
to
That's
the
why,
outside?
that's why I just asked. Why is there
Yeah.
a door up there?
and it's
if
also
there's no
not a
ladder?
straight down tube, right? It's like bisected in the middle. They don't line up. The holes.
And it's not a vent. So what was she crawling up? What is that?
This is like
no idea.
NES level video game like layout design, you know, where you're like, you're a little guy in a kitchen and there's 18 stoves you have to jump over.
Yeah.
There's a part in the beginning where Michelle Rodriguez, Letty, she's in like pajama bottoms. They're going to bed. They're like
Yeah.
going to bed and she's like,
Yeah.
no, and she hops on the bed.
Oh man,
and
Vin loves to try to
Vin is wearing
turn.
jeans and a cutoff jean vest or something. Like, and it
to bed.
appears that that's what he sleeps in. Wait, the thing that I'm afraid I don't
yes,
want to
yes.
forget. Okay, this is very very end, right? John Cena. They're racing down the highway. He's like,
I
I'm
didn't
out of
see him.
gas, which I think
Oh, sorry.
might in this movie mean you are dead. If you run out of gasoline, that's it.
That's your health bar.
The
And
only
there's-
tragedy.
There's like 4 cars coming at Vin, and then John Cena is like, "This is it. I gotta." By the way, John Cena was fine. He was more fun than anything else.
That's the only thread of the movie that I was actually cared about. Whenever they went to that, I was like, "This is good. This needs to be a whole movie."
Two dudes are in a different movie.
It's called Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
yes.
But
And now
they
John
should
Cena
never get rid of John Cena though, because you're right. That I cared about nothing else but his character and the.
But every time they cut back to Cop and a Half, I was in.
Yeah.
Now John Cena is playing a different character than he played in the last movie.
So I didn't see that. I didn't see 9. So
He's just a different guy. It's just like he was a bad guy.
He was a super bad guy, and at the very end he becomes family, and now he's like a family man.
It's like
Now
a
he's
silly
goofy.
goofball.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I did not understand what was happening. That like he's going to sacrifice himself because I'm going. Well, there's 4 cars. Vin can just kind of fishtail and knock them all off.
He can do anything. Yeah.
This is nothing. He took out 2 helicopters
with a car.
right after this or right before it or whatever. It's just weird that they set it up where you're supposed to be thinking, "Oh, this is it." But I never felt like that at all. They've gotten
Also,
out of
the precision to fire something so your car flips top over end and
I'm
then
sorry.
explodes. Like what on earth?
Hold time out. You're not wrong, Kevin. I agree with you. It's ridiculous. We are also talking about a car that has giant ass rocket launchers on it that he can maneuver to go either up, to the front, to the back, or down.
Yeah, how is he aiming those things?
No, some weird gear shift. I don't know.
he just shoot them?
Why didn't
He has
why does
missiles.
he
I
has
know. I
missiles?
don't
He literally has giant grenades attached to this car. All he has to do, kick on the do a 180 and shoot the other cars.
Well,
It's just so silly that they have made a movie where when they want someone to sacrifice themselves, they can't raise the stakes enough for you to understand that that's what's happening.
because they can defeat anything with a car or a wrench or a. You're right. That's what I mean.
I'm
Nothing.
supposed to think that Han and Ludacris are dead?
What?
Yeah, you want me to think the whole family's dead at this
The
point?
plane crash.
When they
shoot
shoot
it.
with a plane crash at the end.
I'll tell you how much I thought that is. I didn't even remember it happened because never in a million years did I go, "Oh, they might be gone." Do you remember
It's-
the
I
end
guess
of this
Dom's
movie?
dead too.
I think
Yeah.
that was done only for contract negotiation leverage.
Just in case.
Sure, yeah. they can go like, well, Roman did actually die, but
Everybody
wait,
else is
Roman,
fine.
Hold on.
But going
What-
back
okay,
to what I
this
was
is-
saying.
I have one other thing that,
Okay.
like, if I don't talk about this, I will lose my mind.
Okay, please.
They're fighting in the computer place with Pete Davidson, whatever.
Because why not?
They get them fighting and he throws dust in the air.
What is that?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I honestly think there is either a cocaine joke or some other like drug reference that got cut.
There has to be something because that
and
makes
that's
no
what that
sense
is
of what
because
he
does
did.
it twice.
Yeah,
He does it twice, and Ludacris goes, "What was that?" And Roman's like, "You know what that was."
And Pete Davidson goes, he's like ghetto David Blaine or something. Like I don't know where there must be a line cut about how something about magic or.
But it's so weird too because you just could have cut all of it.
You could have
know
cut
what
that
I mean?
whole scene. Would have been
how
great.
did it get?
And
right.
It's a plot point though because Pete Davidson's like, oh, he's like frustrated about it, and it's like, what? He threw dust at him. What is happening?
He didn't throw dust at him. He threw dust
Just threw it
in the air. Because people
Well, it gets
online
in
were
his
trying to
face,
be like,
right?
"Oh, it's like no."
What?
They're trying to say, "Oh, it's like Dale Gribble's pocket sand," which they're not making a King of the Hill reference.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
people do
seems
that in other
unlikely.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? Like Bloodsport, they do that or whatever. No,
They
he
do that,
just
Bloods, that's true.
Throws it straight up in the air.
Like he's LeBron.
It's
Like
weird,
that's a LeBron
man.
thing where he throws like chalk in the air before.
Is that what it is?
I mean, he does that. I know that that's like a ritual of his before he takes the court. Is he gets like chalk on his hands and he throws it in the air.
I truly had no
Well,
idea.
it was lost on me whatever he was doing. But so okay, before we get to 56
I
minutes,
guess
and
we
start
say
the
like
plot, hold on.
CM. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I promise.
but so my two things going back to what I was saying. at the
Why should
beginning.
we start the plot any quicker than they did?
Touche. But the problem with these movies is it doesn't know what type of movie it is. Is it a street racing movie? Is it a serious movie about family? Is it a superhero movie? It all doesn't work together to me. You can make a movie about spies. You can make a movie about street racers. You can make superhero movies. But we know where these characters came from. And the fact to think that any agency would use street racers as opposed to military or trained operatives, and keep going back to street racers to do these secret missions is just really hard to believe. And I can't wrap my head around it. It makes these movies seem ridiculous. I know it's big action movie, but like I can't. I just
But
can't.
you could push the silliness a little further and get there, right? That like
if it was not as serious, yes, you could make it a silly
That's the
movie,
thing. If it's gonna be silly and dumb and winking at you, then it needs to do that, but it doesn't.
That's what I mean. Vin Diesel wants to make Oscar movies. They want serious tough guy action movies. They want to be superheroes. They want to be street racing. Like the second unit director got a great vacation. How many establishing shots were in this movie?
There's
of
a
like
lot.
5-minute establishing shots of street races or people. Like I'm just like, we don't need these establishing shots. We get it. They globetrot in these movies all the time. Why am I watching street racing establishing shots? It's just they don't know what type of movie they want to be though. They're like, remember we're street racers. Remember?
does Dominic know that Brian is alive?
Or dead?
Every time he's like looking at pictures of Brian, like,
Well, yeah,
man,
he's
it's
doing
like,
the
dude, hey,
homage.
he's actually alive. Like, you
Right.
could go hang out with him. I think you were just at a barbecue with him, maybe.
It is a weird thing, and they keep the chair open for him. Like, I get he wants to do all this symbolic stuff, and yes, we all love Paul Walker. It is tragic and all that, but like the seat's open. Do they think he's coming to the
Mia's
barbecue?
there. And Mia's there.
Mia's there.
Without
Yeah,
their
like
kid.
if you're gonna construct the story to where he's still alive, you can't constantly be doing these homages to a
Yes.
dead actor.
Right.
Like
It
you
doesn't
can't
make
have it both ways.
In how many times can they go like Brian's still in there taking a piss? Ugh.
Right.
If-
I
if
just
you
didn't get the seat empty at the barbecue because it's like, did they think he was going to show up? Maybe put a line in there like maybe he's coming by later. Like they don't address it, but we all
that's
know
kind of what
they're-
I'm saying. There's so many of those lines now.
Yeah.
Of the like Brian's safe. He's at the safe house. Hey, why don't you take little B to that
Well,
safe
he's always
house or whatever?
he's watching the kids. He's always the one watching the kids.
Then
and-
why doesn't your wife stay with you?
yeah
Like why
With
does it,
little B,
with
like,
with with their children and their nephew?
because
Yeah.
they need her for some reason, even though we don't ever see Mia do
For-
anything.
I was
She
like, for
doesn't-
what?
I know,
But in
it's-
this one, she's watching Dominic's kid.
I know. Why aren't
Yeah.
they all together? It doesn't make any sense. It
There-
doesn't.
So okay,
It just,
we'll get into it. This movie opens up with a recap of Fast Five.
It opens up with a 15-minute retcon of Fast
also,
Five.
from the previews, I thought Jason Momoa's character was going to be a random collateral damage.
Oh sure.
And like his family died in that car accident. And I thought that was kind of cool.
I don't
think
even
that
have a
is-
problem. No, I don't even have a problem with him being the son of the drug lord.
I like it being random a lot better because one thing that you don't ever get, and I know that maybe some movies do it in a clever way, or I've even seen video games do it in kind of a funny little side thing, is that you have so much explosion, so much death, so many things going on, and we just root for the good guys. Car explode, car jump over this, do that. Like the fact, it's Captain America. It's Civil
Man of
War, right?
Steel.
No, it's Civil War, right?
Sokovia Accord, whatever type
Civil
stuff.
War.
Yeah.
That's the bad guy in that. The whole thing is like my family was collateral damage.
Oh,
I
Baron
think
Zemo, yeah.
that's such a smart thing to do because you have all this stuff going on, and you can't help but to think, well, someone out there is going to want to get revenge for all this random damage, and so I love that idea, and that's why Civil War
like
was
Batman.
so good. Yeah, I guess a little
I
bit
mean,
like
it's exactly
Batman.
what that whole movie's about.
Yeah. So
Well, I
So-
mean, how many law enforcement officers and military personnel are killed in this movie?
All
Those
of
guys
them.
aren't bad, right? The guy is bad, the main guy, whatever. But
Right, like they kill so many. It's just weird how there's this element of society who have fetishized police and military, but here's this insanely popular movie, and you got to think it's popular with a lot of those people, and they are mowing down military and law enforcement officers
who are just doing their job.
And it's not even a plot point.
Well,
it's just military people getting slaughtered.
Well, most of them are mercenaries that get killed, though. There's only the police in Rome are the ones that are police. All the other ones are mercenaries.
All the ones that are with Alan Richmond. Who I got to tell you,
who's Alan Richmond?
He's Ames. He's the giant, like beefy dude,
Reacher,
Mr. Nobody's group.
But I got to tell you,
His...
have you seen Reacher?
No, I haven't.
It's fantastic.
Reacher's good. I mean, it's just
so
a dumb
good.
airport novel, but it's a really good dumb airport novel.
But the Reacher guy who took over from Mr. Nobody, and
which also I'm kind of glad that Kurt Russell isn't in this because it's that bad of a movie.
But like,
he had
I
a
was
daughter.
pretty
Did
sure,
you know that?
Yeah, I was pretty sure he dies. Are they trying to say he didn't die? Because I thought
we truly don't know what happened to him.
Helen Mirren says,
I know what she says, Joe.
He's underground. He's gone.
I know what she says, Joe. I swear he died in one of the last movies.
In the beginning of 9,
nobody dies in these things.
He sends out like a distress call.
Yes, I
don't think you know.
Right.
But he's more not necessarily dead than most people. That come back.
So wait. So Mr. Nobody was supposed to be Brian's dad originally, before Paul Walker died. That was the deal, is he was going to be Brian's dad. So that means that Brie Larson was going to be his sister.
Which I thought in this movie,
I don't think
we were speculating who Brie Larson's playing, and we thought she was going to be a Paul Walker's sister.
Yeah,
is what
and she kind of is, if in a plot point that was never put into a movie.
Yeah.
So we get the retcon that Jason Momoa was there the entire time. He gets knocked off the bridge and can't save his dad. And as I was watching this, and I was like, but Vin Diesel didn't kill his dad. I'm like, The Rock killed his dad.
Well, but the heist, they stole all their money.
They stole the money, but he didn't kill him.
But it does get weird because he's most upset
with Vin Diesel.
It's not like he's trying to kill everybody involved. I mean, I guess he is, but it's all to hurt Vin.
To get
or
Vin.
Dominic.
But Dominic didn't kill his dad.
But he stole all their money, I guess, and somehow he has a lot of money to still do stuff. So I don't really.
Either way,
that's not Dominic, solely Dominic Toretto, right? Like, it's so weird that the vendetta.
I mean, I guess we do get a post-credit sequence where he does.
Shouldn't it be a Dom Detta?
Oh, look at you! But let's do it now. There's a post-credit sequence where the Hobbs shows back
Matt's
up.
on a 7-second delay.
Yeah, right.
Man, always.
They got me on this one. It was a work.
Yeah.
Can you guys tell me what happened? Because when it faded to black after that submarine, I was like, nah, I'm out of here.
There's a bunch of guys that raid what looks like a theater, and you know when Dom goes into the old police station, they've got all the videos up and all that stuff, and he gets so that happens again, and there's a phone that rings, and you see a guy in like military police gear, and he looks at the phone,
built like The Rock, but with a mask on. So you're like,
it's the same arm.
But you're like, they're killing Hobbs off. My thought was, with the feud, they're killing Hobbs off. Mask on, you can't see anything. Oh, this is how they get rid of The Rock.
They're gonna pull a. Did you ever see the Triple X short where they kill Vin Diesel? There's a short on the Triple X like movie or whatever where Vin Diesel. They have a guy from the back who's like Vin Diesel's stunt double, and they have like his tattoo on the back of his neck, so you know it's the Triple X kid, the Xander Cage. He goes into a brothel, and the brothel explodes, and you see the chunk of skin that's got the tattoo on it land on a thing.
Wow,
and
that's awesome.
That was the lead into why Ice Cube was the new Triple X.
God,
how they bring him back?
And then I didn't see that one. I have no idea.
But that's not in the movie, right? That's like
no, that was on the DVD, like an extra feature. He picks up the phone, and of course it's Jason Momoa doing the whole thing. Like, yes, I know that Dominic Toretto was responsible, but you're the one that killed my dad. And they cut back to The Rock shooting a man who was laying on the ground, an unarmed man. He just shoots him in the chest, and he takes the mask off, and it's The Rock with a gray beard though, which I did think was interesting.
Oh, cool.
Because I was like, well, you think The Rock would try to make himself look younger, but no, he's rocking the gray beard, and of course he does the Hobbs thing where he's like, I'm not hard to find, and crushes the phone in his hand.
You forgot the most important part of that. some bitch.
Some bitch. Sorry. And crushes the phone, and then they go on.
I cannot believe, like, after a year or plus of them doing the feud and him saying, "I'll never come back," like,
This
they
is going
got
to be
me.
Hobbs and Shaw too.
They got me.
That's
though.
what this is going to do.
This is what happens when Black Adam underperforms, right?
I was going to say the same thing. Rock realizes he needs a big franchise that's going to make money. Yeah.
And he thought he had one, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Not
and
anymore.
so he's like, on second thought, let's not make any rash decisions. But I got to say this. I saw this theater at a press screening, but open to the public, and it was packed. And the only time the crowd had any reaction, like laughter or cheering or anything, was on the Rock reveal.
That's what I'm
Everything else,
saying.
That's so
that
interesting.
crowd was silent.
The Rock saves this franchise in Fast Five. Fast Five is fun because they go up from street racing and heists, but it's an action movie. It's a globe-trotting espionage movie. It's not a superhero movie. It's an action movie.
Yeah,
And he saves it. And then when these movies become superhero movies, I can't suspend disbelief because we've grown up with them being street racers and then, okay, action, fine. They're not superheroes. We know where these people came from. And so it gets
It's funny because as much as I hate these movies, the first one I saw was 5.
It's the best one.
And so for me, like, I know logically where it started, but I spent no time on those movies
With
I
that,
was
at all.
I was talking to Leanne about this, and I was because the first one came out in 2001, and they're stealing DVD players. That's the plot of that movie.
It's Point
is they're
Break.
stealing DVD players, and it's like this franchise has been going on for so long. Nobody has DVD players anymore.
Right.
They just had to find something else for them to steal. The God's Eye, apparently, is what that is. Basically, Jason Momoa is just going to destroy everyone around Vin Diesel.
And he wants him to suffer. That's the
that's
thing.
what
You
he's
could just
doing,
kill
right?
him, but his dad says our family doesn't. Death is not an appropriate punishment or whatever. Like, they're going to suffer.
whatever.
It's nice though to see a franchise like this be so anti-death penalty.
It's true. Fair enough.
Except for if you're street racing superheroes that can blow people up. I mean, that's kind of Vin Diesel is judge, jury, and executioner.
That's
I tell you, I do think it's unfair to call it a superhero movie because there is not one single superhero movie where the superhero is unkillable. Even Superman gets hurt and bleeds, and Batman. I heard him say,
But that's
I'll
the
make you
second part.
bleed.
That's the second part. Not just the unbelievableness of whatever they've become, but there are no stakes in this movie. When you
This is-
undermine every
This
single
is-
death, every single death.
But there used to be. That's the
Right.
problem. Is there
Until
used
they
to be
started
stakes,
undermining
right?
them. That's
when
what
you
I'm saying.
When you kill Han, when you kill Gal Gadot. Spoilers. Gal Gadot shows up in this movie
driving
Insane.
a submarine,
driving a
Insane.
submarine.
It's
working
so
for
just
the baddest of bad guys.
does Gail Gadot, however you say it, does she have a contract that she only appears in movies now if she doesn't have to interact with another living, breathing human being?
Well,
Because
I
this is
think-
exactly what she did in Shazam. Like, she was
Right,
clearly
right.
not on set with anybody, and the same thing happens here.
Dude,
well, can I
she
make
and-
if I can make another reference, Tom? Wonder Woman 84. That's, I mean, she had
But I
stuff
meant
going on that didn't work out too, and now she's
But Gunn
popping up
said
in,
that she's staying. Well,
I
guess
just
he-
meant
he
more
has
the
said
fact that she.
but-
I just meant more the fact that she keeps popping up in these movies where she's clearly tacked on
Well,
at the
it's-
end,
Yeah.
and she's not even on set with other human beings.
right because she's
COVID's
not. She's not.
over. Has anyone told her that?
No, it's because she wasn't going to be a part of these movies anymore, and her thing's gone now, and so she's
yeah.
like, "I'll show back up for Fast and Furious." But
Oh.
but when you have multiple movies of Han dwelling on how heartbroken he has
Oh my
because
God.
of
Where has she
because
been?
of her sacrifice to kill him. Well, we don't know yet, but
if they tell us that she has been working with Charlize Theron this entire time, I don't even know what
You
to
know,
do with that.
These movies have so many characters now. Like, I honestly totally forgot she was supposed to be dead.
She
Like,
died in 6.
Oh, she's so dead.
the runway,
Like,
she's the
she
runway.
might
She's
be
the
more-
runway. You're right.
A plane at takeoff speeds, maybe off, or is she on a car? Whatever.
She's in a car.
She is on a plane and she jumps off of the the door, the thing that opens up when a plane is like loading stuff, and she jumps off backwards into a cloud of smoke, shooting bad guys to save Han. But she falls into a cloud of dust. You never see her die, and so we're gonna see now you're gonna see now how Charlize Theron rescued her, used her computer nanobots to repair her body,
didn't
cloned her. Maybe she grew a new body. We're gonna have to see how she did it. Yeah,
They
But
do
didn't that
have-
happen to Letty too? Didn't they kill
Letty
Letty?
lost her memory.
Well, Letty died, and then they
Right.
brought her back. Oh, she was never dead, but she lost her memory. Yes,
That's
they did
right,
the
that's
same
right.
exact.
I think
So they've done it with Letty. They've done it with Gal Gadot. They've done it with Han. They're gonna do it with
Unless they don't
with
sign a
Cena.
contract.
Yeah, but they do it with every character, and so now these movies leave me feeling like I just don't care because nothing matters.
But the same thing goes for the bad guys, right? They rehab Chuck
Sean.
Chelios.
Yeah.
They rehab John Cena. They
Yeah.
rehab Charlize Theron. She's not the bad guy in this. She is like a good guy, kinda.
Well, she shows up at their house all beat up,
The
Right.
enemy of my enemy is you.
and then she.
What the fuck?
I thought that was so weird because she's like, I saw the devil. It was the worst thing.
I thought it was me, but now it wasn't.
But then they show you what happens. He shows up, basically says, "Hey, I'm blackmailing all of your guards."
Yeah,
and then leaves.
leaves. He
And
didn't
she
do anything
fights.
devilish. Yeah, she fights her guys. Yeah.
Here's what I will say:
so
is
dumb.
Charlize Theron has 2 action sequences in this movie, and they are
All bad.
spectacular.
They're all the action
I
in
think
this movie's
she's.
bad,
I
man.
think. I
It's-
think letting her do those stunts
I mean,
is pretty impressive.
yeah. I see
the
what you're.
action
I see what you're both saying. But does it, well, I was going to say, you say
I
it's like a
almost fell
superhero
asleep
movie.
during the fight scenes. These
I was
movies
bored
are
out of my
so.
mind.
These
These
movies
are-
are so
these are
bad.
boring.
Anytime an action sequence comes on, I start thinking about work I had to get done. I'm like, none
Oh
of
man,
it,
I should have edited that Incredible Hulk podcast.
but it's
I-
just
well,
Well,
it
it's
starts
back
to
to the
me-
no stakes things, right? Like the
Yeah.
action, because there's no stakes, you don't care about the action. But there's nothing unique or creative about these
Nothing.
action scenes because they're so CGI'd. So take
Right.
another movie with no stakes, but great action. Mission
Yeah.
Impossible, right?
Oh, totally.
Those movies have no stakes. I feel pretty confident Tom Cruise isn't going to die in those movies, but the stunts that they do
are spectacular.
incredible. I mean,
Yep.
it is like I have given up. Like I keep going into Mission Impossible movies, dreading it, and every time
Yeah.
I walk out, I'm like, man, that was a blast. Like
This is your early Marvel stuff.
yeah, I mean,
There's no way this is gonna work.
yeah, like but the action scenes are spectacular, and like it is they're truly a joy to behold. And honestly, I see so few movies where the action feels like that because it is so CGI'd and edited weird, and where like it with a Mission Impossible movie, it's long takes, like you see the actual risk that was involved with doing this stunt.
Yeah.
It's I'm also worried because I feel like it's only a matter of time before they screw up and kill somebody. But until they do, it'll be a fun
There's
ride.
really only one guy on. Never mind.
But
These
Vin
movies
Diesel
to me-
wants this movie to be Mission Impossible, and it
Totally.
isn't, and it's not going to be, and that's the problem.
They're not superhero movies to me. What I get, and I understand what you're saying when you say that, but to me, it's like an extremely unimaginative child playing with toys.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Like you'd go over to your brother's house, his kid's playing on the floor, and then you're kind of going, that kid all there, what's he don't he just killed that one. Why is it back in rotation? What are you doing? Like,
well, it's also
you
like
took him off the board. What?
Yeah.
well, it is. It's like Cars with a kid, but it's also like when you play like Yu-Gi-Oh with a kid, and they don't actually know the rules.
Oh,
and then
right,
anytime
yeah.
they're starting to lose, they just make up a rule, or they'll be like, "Oh wait,
actually,
you weren't supposed to have." You weren't supposed to have Blue Eyes White Dragon. Wait, hang on. I'm taking that back from you.
CM, listen, I just want to tell you, the reason we're not talking about the plot of this movie is because
There
there
isn't
none.
one.
There is none. Jason Momoa is trying to take out all of the fast crew so he can get to Dom.
And he
that's
never
it.
really does it. He takes their money, and then immediately Roman goes, I actually have a lot of money.
One action scene, car related. When they're in the cars, I'm kind of into it. The car chases are cool. One fight scene, John Cena fight scene. That scene was cool.
This is the thing.
He's doing Peacemaker. That's
awesome.
Exactly
it. I was just gonna say that he had all kinds of training and practice on Peacemaker, where he is doing, and James Gunn doesn't cut away.
Yeah, thank you, James Gunn, for the training,
right?
Because he is doing Peacemaker, and it's awesome.
And the guys who are wrestlers know how to work in front of a camera. They know how to make things look real, and they know how to make things without touching anybody.
Yeah.
And Cena, who I think is one of the worst wrestlers ever, but knows how to work a camera and knows how to work punches and make everything look real. So that scene in the house is pretty great.
That's a cool scene.
It's a fun scene.
But when you have Michelle Rodriguez as Letty fighting Cypher, Charlize Theron's character, for no reason, like they're the enemy of my enemy. I mean, Vin doesn't kill her. She's the only one that's going to get her out. Like, why have a 5-minute long fight scene? It's so stupid. I just hate that. Getting your aggression out against the person that you're working with.
All right, I guess they turned her in. I guess.
I guess that's no, because Scott Eastwood shows up.
Oh, he's not dead either. What? He jumps out of the car before it explodes, and they never address him again. Where is he?
Right.
Nope.
Why is he not helping them still?
Hanging out with Paul Walker, I guess.
I don't get that. Why you show him not die, and then he's out for some reason.
The other actor that we have not talked about is Brie Larson is in this movie for a cup of coffee. And
she's horrible in this movie.
I thoroughly enjoy Brie. I think Brie Larson was a great choice for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I think she's a fantastic actress. I don't know what the hell she's doing in this movie.
Yeah, we got to clarify. We like her. We're not one of those like the internet who's just anti Brie Larson, but in this movie, she's given the same level of material Vin is, and it's just like she jumps up on that green screen on top of that car and is like, says the generic line, whatever it is. Like, it was horrible though. It was so bad.
She's cool. She, I think of the character in Scott Pilgrim. She's cool as shit.
She is, yeah.
And she's still riding on Room for me. I haven't really liked anything she's done since.
I just think, sometimes you do a role like that and you just got to do other stuff to get out of that headspace maybe.
But they wasted her in this movie.
They did.
I
totally agree.
In fairness, they waste everyone in this movie. Except Vin Diesel. This is exactly what he's capable of doing.
And John Cena, I do think the John Cena movie was fun.
The John Cena movie, is that what he said?
Yeah. These movies have turned into a Gary Marshall movie, right?
That's
film
a great
for 10
analogy.
minutes over here, film for 10 minutes over here.
It's all these big names that hardly interact except through the magic of editing. They're probably all on set for a week, and then they all scatter, but they make a third of what they would normally make, which is still a ton of money, but they need them for a tenth of the time. And then they get a poster with a bunch of famous people on it.
Well, and that's why they have to split this movie into 3 parts. Like, it's supposed to be 2.
And they get all those Twitter accounts to talk about their new movie.
Yeah. And
they're going to split this into 4 or 5 movies.
What?
I'm serious. I'm serious. I think you're going to get, you will get,
because like a Hobbs and Shaw 2.
You're going to get 2 more of these Vin Diesel family movies.
Whoa. He quit. It was just too much.
Vin got him.
It broke him. We finally found the movie that broke him.
I'm not debating they will have spin-offs. I know Fast and Furious will never end with the kind of money they make, but they were supposed to do this into a 2-parter, and then I heard Vin's shopping around the idea of 3, and I'm just like, I can't. The way this movie ends on the cliffhanger, it's just like, I don't care. I wish they just would end these movies or move on to the next villain. Like, we're going to have to wait how many years to find out what happens?
And to not even end a chapter, really, right? Like, this story is just still happening.
That's what I mean. It's just, they want
like
this
Lord
to
of
be...
the Rings and stuff. You kind of got like okay, we did one thing.
Yeah.
Next time we'll do the next thing. This is just
they literally just end the movie. Yeah.
It just
Dante's
stopped.
Still fighting them. They're in the middle of a fight, it seems like.
I will say, though, in their defense, I was relieved when they ended it that way, because the whole time I'm looking at my watch going, well, this narrative structure is not builded in any way, shape, or form to a climax. So how long is this movie? So when they were just like, yeah, we're at 120 pages, that's probably a good time to stop writing.
Fade it out here.
I was relieved.
But did you know it was supposed to be multiple parts going into it? You weren't aware of that?
I knew that there was supposed to be one more movie after this.
Yeah.
Like that, I know that it was supposed to be like they're making 2 more movies and then they're done. Not that I believe them, but I didn't know that it would end so abruptly.
Gotcha.
I guess I'm with you, Tom. I knew they were
But
saying
I also didn't care because I don't care.
we're building to the end. I did not know it was going to be like Dante versus Dom for the next whatever. And I don't know what Dante's really doing. He did kidnap his son for a second, and he did take their money. But again, they seem to have plenty of money.
Well, you know what? What they're trying to do is they're going to try to figure out how to turn him into a good guy when the next badder guy comes up. If you think, I mean, we can take bets now. Who here does not think that Jason Momoa will be a part of the family by the end of the next 1 to 2 movies?
How?
I'm hoping not.
I don't care
mean,
how. I don't care. It's
I'm
going to happen.
hoping.
Because
What do I
they'll
care? I
just
don't
say it happened.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not like they're going to go to counseling or something.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like, oh, he said that he shouldn't have done that, and now he realizes he was wrong.
That's what they did with Shaw.
It's what they've
Where
done
he
with
was like,
everybody.
I didn't. I was under
Everybody.
orders. I was under orders, so I'm the good guy.
If by
Cypher-
Shaw you mean everybody, then yes.
We're talking about the collective Shaw.
Cypher killed the mother of Vin Diesel's child,
Yes.
who, by
In
the way,
front of
did
Vin
have a
Diesel.
sister.
Oh yeah. Wait till she's coming back. You know she's coming back. That
How-
character
that
is
is
for
so
sure coming back.
That is just a random woman that he happens to bump into. Why does he go there?
I knew who you were as soon as I saw you. You guys have the same nose.
And that was a weird. I felt like that was a weird romantic. Like
I
we're
totally
supposed
agree
to
with you.
kind of be like he could have.
When he catches her in that
Yes.
like way.
It's it's the whole Katie Sackhoff thing in that Pitch Black movie, where like the whole time Katie Sackhoff is a out lesbian, and at the last 5 minutes of that movie, he's like, "Oh, by the way," she's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gonna," and we're just like, "Wait, what?"
You cured me.
Yeah, right.
So do they feel like I thought the whole street race part was weird.
What
do
was
they feel
the
like
point of it? Because you know why? Because they're like, remember, these are street race
Yeah,
movies.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
gotta
It's
put
like they
that
feel
movie.
like they have to throw that in there, but like you don't. I don't
Why
think
was he
they're street
there?
racers anymore.
Why was he in Rio? Why did he go there?
He
I
went
don't-
to Rio because he found. Was it? he was either
Oh,
trying
because
to
Dante
draw-
was
He was
there.
trying to draw him out, or he was going to the police precinct from. 5.
Oh, guys. What about the standoff with the crowd pointing guns at each
so
other?
Yeah.
dumb, so dumb.
I mean, at some point, this is just so stupid. Was that supposed to be cool?
okay, so real quick, but my internet went out while we were talking. They're
Yeah.
gonna spin this off into like 5 movies, right? So
Oh,
we're
for
gonna get
sure.
Two more fast movies. I think we'll probably either get a solo Shaw movie
Mm-hmm.
of him trying to get to his mom, and they're gonna bring back Luke Evans because he's still alive and he's
Right.
Shaw's
Of course he is.
And then you're gonna get a Hobbs movie of him
Oh,
versus Jason Momoa.
Wait, you know what, guys? You know what? The next villain of this movie, you know how Jason Momoa turns good? His dad is not dead, and he's going to come back and try to kill them all.
Wow.
I swear to
Wow.
God, you literally watched The Rock put like
I know,
3
but-
bullets into his chest on the ground,
Charlize-
at point blank
but
range.
What you
You
don't
thought
know
that
is
was his
Cypher-
real chest?
What you don't know is that he had a cross also because he is the brother
He's Dom-
of Vin's of
He's
Bryn's
Dom's
father.
dad. He's Dom's real dad.
He's Dom's he's Dom's real dad.
He's
And
Dom's real
he has
dad.
the matching crucifix necklace, and it shot him
This
in that.
movie, Jason, our buddy Jason, who I think we've all been on binge movies at this point, had a great line that resonated with me more than anything else. Is like he said, "Finally, they've made a movie for nincompoops," and there is no greater description of this movie.
But
I think there's a weird thing in like movie internet, movie Twitter, whatever, that like movie snobs use this franchise to go, movies don't have to be high art. Like you know how people just love to be contrarian about
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
And so when you're going like, hey, this obviously bad movie is bad, this is the one where they just turn your brain and not everything has to be Oscar. It's so much fun. And like it is so boring. Like bomb's rolling down the hill, smashing up everything.
Talk about that.
You mean,
guys.
I'm just like
the scene? Okay, the scene from Batman '66 where you just can't, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Also,
oh wow.
The whole thing where that thing is rolling, there's no way it has that much momentum, and there's no way that it's gonna roll that entire time.
It just rolls down the path that it's going perfectly.
It doesn't
Yes.
make any sense.
Also, it's a nuclear bomb or whatever it ends up being, and it's on fire. You don't think at some point it just explodes along the way until you detonate it? Like how?
That's yeah.
well, a nuclear bomb actually wouldn't.
But so like
From a fire.
as Jason Momoa is trying to get revenge and torture them, he sets up a fake heist which puts everything into motion, and they go to Rome, and the plan, it's like this is like an espionage type thing where it's
You're
a
gonna get
fake
computer chip or something.
Yeah, and so it ends up not being computer chips. It's this bomb, and it rolls all the way down to the Vatican. They use cars to try to stop the bus or whatever that it's on, and then they use cars to like hit the thing and like try to stop the thing. Vin turns his car backwards and is going downstairs, and he's swinging it around like, and then he hits it into a crane, which the crane perfectly
Oh my god!
hits the thing at the end of the crane.
It's the Amazing Spider-Man all over again.
but it's
he
not,
does
and
this
then
all
it's
with a
not
car.
it's not underwater. It's sitting on top of the water when it blows up. Like it's not like it
You
sank.
don't think it doesn't sink?
Well, I guess it did a little bit. Like that's why it wasn't as
sure.
bad. Yeah.
But it was just another one of those weird, like, okay, what could they do to defuse or dampen this bomb? But then when you see it, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. Like and it does still cause a ton of destruction or whatever. But like, I don't know. It was just one of those like, why did you do? Why?
But
why,
that's
why,
how they got.
why,
They took Letty. Well, they took Letty off the board, and they all became fugitives because of
How
they
could
got
that happen? They've done this a million times. Why is this the one?
But Mr. Nobody usually covers for them, and now
Okay,
the bad guy Reacher is, we didn't say, he's a plant from Jason Momoa and
By
his
the way,
dad.
he was also retconned into the beginning of this movie.
and don't think he
beginning of
won't.
5.
Don't think he won't be family by the end, guys.
I gotta tell you though, if they recast Captain Shazam, they better cast that guy. Because if there's ever that guy's actually really good. I think he's pretty great as Reacher. Granted, that role in that show isn't, you don't have to do much, but he was on a show called Blue Mountain State, where he was like a jacked up version of Ryan Reynolds, like a Ryan Reynolds character from like the late '90s, early 2000s. He was also Leonardo. He was the mocap guy for the Michael Bay Leonardo.
Oh, well, maybe just leave that one off there. I'm not sure what you're trying to do with that one.
Doing the mocap. Like he wasn't he was doing the mocap for it. But if there was ever go look at the original drawings of Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
and, like,
sure.
How he looked.
I can see that.
That dude looks just like him, and it makes more sense that he would be like this 6'5"
Sure.
wall of a human compared to Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
Who's nut.
I just want to say something about the bomb thing, just
Yeah.
before we move on. Like, just if you're saving a bunch of Catholic priests, are you really the good guy?
Who's the monster? Who's the
Who's the
monster?
monster?
Yeah, like
Here's the other thing that bothered me about that scene, and this is one of the first scenes in the movie. It's the first action sequence that happens. There's no collateral damage. I'm not saying I want a bunch of people to die, but when you have cars that are being remote controlled by the villain and you're going through the streets with a bomb that's on fire, no bystanders get killed or
They
injured.
say
Not one.
6 people died, I think.
But you don't see, I don't need to see carnage, but that's why it feels like there's no stakes. It's like Vin saves every single person, whether he's lowering an awning or he's taking a door off and using it as a shield.
You mean Captain America?
Like
Yeah.
that, he
I gotta
saves
tell you,
that.
those bullets are the bullets that they're firing out of that gun is ripping through that door.
But
Well, Vin was touching it though. So
I didn't think
But you
about
tell
that.
me these aren't superhero movies. You tell me Vin doesn't want to be a superhero when he holds a car door like a
he
shield.
wants
You mean
to
when
be.
he picks up a car?
I'm saying
thank you
that
for
they're
saying
not as good as superhero movies. Like superhero movies do a better job.
Matt, Vin Diesel flipped a car over
he
with
did.
one arm.
One arm. He's very strong.
Like the fact that
The cars aren't as heavy as they used to be.
Yeah,
Like
you
that.
go.
They were in, you know.
All right,
they
Mr. Tonal, go flip your car over
That's
with
why.
one arm.
That's why they're called muscle cars, because he's the muscle.
He's
Yeah,
muscle.
right.
But like,
You're the car.
how do you take him seriously when he keeps giving his character these type of things to do? Like, dude, it's just so forced, right? Like, I believe The Rock could do that. Like, if The Rock does it, fine. But Vin Diesel cannot do that. No. And it's just.
So I'm assuming-
neither can The Rock, for the record.
But if you show me
That
The Rock
character-
can do it,
But that character in these movies, okay.
The
I'll
Rock
give you
can do.
that.
Yes.
I think The Rock could flip like a Ford Focus.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right. I think that's.
He
a fair
might have to use
assessment.
2 hands, but
He could
Not
flip
one-handed. Yes, two hands.
could-
But I
he
think
could
he
flip
could
a-
flip a Ford
He
Focus.
could flip a Fiat for sure.
doesn't
Yeah.
Arnold do that in Commando or something?
He definitely no. He's got like a giant tree on his shoulder.
He tears
He's
the
like
seat out of
carrying
a
a-
car.
The other one I can't stand,
No,
though,
that was-
guys.
That was Police Academy. That's what Hightower did.
Hightower does do that.
But guys, when cars drop out of helicopters, and you're telling me a car can drop out of a helicopter onto 2 more cars and then drive away.
I also love that whole
Smash
scene
them.
What is
where
this
he-
car made out of? Why can it do that?
adamantium.
It doesn't
He's a
make
good-
sense.
But here's the thing: is
It's made entirely out of plot device.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel has so much testosterone and machismo that it leaks into the car and makes it. But here's the thing: is that whole scene, like the guy who is the bad guy later has him dead to rights.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to
He's
kill
got
him.
him right there.
He
All
can't
got-
reveal it at that point. Remember,
Put a bullet in his head.
he works for the bad guy who wants to torture these people. He doesn't want to kill him, remember?
So I
he
guess
has
was thinking,
he wants
actually,
Vin to watch
You know
his
that Ames, I think was that guy's name, was like,
Yeah.
you're gonna drop the car out of the plane? Yeah, man. You're gonna make my job
right.
real easy.
But there's a
What do you
difference.
mean he survived?
But like, we can suspend our disbelief, and you can do all sorts of stuff in action movies, and that's fine. But you have to pick, like Tom said earlier, are you super silly and over the top? Are you serious? Are you a spy movie? Like, this movie cannot decide what it's going to be, and it mixes and matches the tones in a way to where you just end up with a bunch of gibberish. There's no language that you can follow to these movies.
Yeah.
Man, that is
Yeah.
the collateral damage thing. There's like a news report or something that's like 6 people died. You know, it's huge
And the
explosion.
nuclear bomb.
All
Yeah.
this cars smashed with and
Yeah.
it feels like kids playing and being
In a
and then
sandbox.
one kid goes and Vin and Dom saved them all, and then the other kid going, he couldn't have saved all of them, and then the kid's like, okay, 6 people died.
Did you
Like,
Did you see?
Like,
Matt,
no,
when that-
man, I
when
meant
that-
like
when that bomb goes off and the buildings are destroyed and it doesn't do as much damage because, like Batman, he threw it into the pond.
the weird
and-
religious overtones are.
But did you see the explosion? And it was like a tornado picking cars
Yes.
up and
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah.
And you're telling me the people in the town were just like, oh man, I'm a little dusty after that. No,
Yeah.
you would have had thousands of people dead. And so it just doesn't make sense. Like, if they want to show us this stuff happening, there has to be collateral damage, and it just isn't. And so
There's like Letty going like, "What have we done?" Or one of them is like that. It's like, you guys do this all the time.
You
Yeah,
are
it's
you are
literally
secret
your
government-
career choice.
You
Yeah.
are secret government agents.
at the beginning,
This
they're
is
like,
your job.
yeah, they're going to Rome on another mission. And it's like, what are you talking about? They
Mission, like that's like kids
are
play. It's so crazy. Like, yeah, they got to go on this mission that they got from Mr. Nobody.
So I'm assuming in the next movie his son is gonna drive the car, because why else would they have established that in this movie?
That's
Like,
a
I
great
thought for
point.
sure at some point he was gonna have a big car chase scene because they showed that he can drive. So like, why?
All he
They-
got to do
they're
with
not
that
gonna
training was
let that go
open
to
the
waste.
door. He's like, feel the car,
Yeah.
and he opens up the door and jumps out.
Oh, that
he
was
does
a
kill a
weird
couple
one.
people. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
See an 8-year-old blow some people.
Yeah,
up.
I forgot about that. I was just like, this kid just killed people,
And he's totally
He
cool with it.
literally just killed people.
He's
yeah,
totally cool with it.
like what? Like,
Yeah,
what
this-
he
this
should
fr-
have.
it's- this franchise is just it's gone off the rails.
And not in a good way, because that's what people say.
Yeah.
It's gone off the rails in the best way possible. Nah, man.
It's just boring because
It
there's
sucks.
no
It
stakes.
sucks. It's boring.
The writing is lesser than, and no, I'm sorry, like not trying to offend Hallmark movies, but the sentimental family stuff that they write in these movies is so cheesy and so bad. How does anyone watch it and be like, oh man, that's such a beautiful thing about family? Like, I mean, if you enjoy.
Here's the thing: is we come off of Guardians, right? We come off of Guardians that is like emotional gut punch after emotional gut punch, and it's done expertly.
Yes.
You know, and then we get to this, and you're just like, I mean, I know that your baby mama died, but I don't care.
And you didn't seem to care that much.
He didn't seem to care that much. He was
You're
like, "I'm gonna
friends
get
with
you."
her killer now, I think. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she shows up at his door and he doesn't snap her neck immediately.
Because she has to get Letty out of jail later, Joe.
You're absolutely right.
Letty, a couple things of the Letty in jail thing. First of all, these like futuristic heal your cut robot laser
You know
things.
why? You know why? Because they need an explanation for how Gal Gadot's alive. Believe me, that's exactly why they showed you that.
It's just, well, I don't know if they think ahead that far even. And they might use that again.
That you're thinking that far ahead.
I think, seriously, I think they wanted to be like, well, how she'd be cut? How? Oh, well, but then again, people get whatever. Anyway,
But what future do we live in? Why do they have laser healing?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought God's Eye was like, that's the crazy tech, but now it's like, well, that's not that crazy. We can Star Trek heal wounds. So, okay. Also, there is canisters of sleeping gas
yeah.
It's anesthesia from the operation. They let the anesthesia out.
into the. Why would it even be?
She rewired. I'm not trying. Trust me. I'm not
No,
trying to
I
make
know what she did. I'm saying, why would those things be connected
control room?
in
Yeah.
any way?
Also,
and
why would you put the keypad that close to your inmate's
where you can
hand?
type on it. Where you can
she's
type.
just like,
on it.
Sure.
I'm
Yes.
gonna turn my wrist. Go, beep, boop, bop, bop, bop. Done.
She can't even
Like-
see the keypad. But how is she controlling it?
why would those things be connected at all? And why they vent it out into the observation area? Like, why would there even be?
Well, the way I looked at it, Matt, was they have a bunch of pipes and tubes and things going throughout the facility, and she like rerouted it to release into the air ducts.
Oh
like
my God, they're gonna get 6 movies out of this.
how?
You're gonna get an all-female.
Oh no!
You're gonna get Letty and Gal Gadot and Cypher and Mia,
the sister of the
sister of the
mother.
baby mama. Like,
But you
you're gonna
don't-
get another an all-female Fast and Furious. That's
Don't
what
you
we're
think
gonna
they're all
get.
just building up to like Fast 12 or whatever, where they're all going to be in the same movie? I feel like they're just culminating
sure.
into
I think they
one.
will, but I think they're also gonna be like, hey, you know what? This team kind of works. We're gonna go do our thing over here. They're gonna add Brie Larson to that. Like that's.
I mean, I'm okay if it's
No.
good. I'm fine with it being an all kick-ass
I wouldn't
female
worry about
It's
action.
not
that.
gonna be.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a big
Why would they
ask.
start now?
Yeah, the track record's not good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
This-
that's basically it. As the end of this movie is Dom
Yeah.
is racing down a dam.
Damn.
He gets to the end of it, and Jason Momoa
Driving
blows
down
up
the side of a dam.
Again,
He can
it's Superman
control the vertical like tilt of his car. That's a thing Dom
he has
can
to
do
because he can go over walls. Yeah.
and he can steer in midair. That's
Yes,
That's
is
right.
how that
Okay, okay,
works.
okay,
yes.
okay,
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
also,
It's
I
kit.
turned to Ryan and I go, okay, so Jason Momoa has 2 tanker trucks of fuel on either side of the dam. He ends up crashing them together and exploding. I go, isn't the dam punctured now? Like, how did the dam not
This is Superman the movie.
blow up?
This is the end of Superman the movie.
They stole their taxes, or what did they do?
No, they blow up a dam.
He did blow up the dam.
Yeah.
But like, why is it not flooding? How did the
I don't-
explosion not actually damage the dam?
No idea.
2
And also,
trucks
why is
exploded on
he?
it.
They
at
also
this
blow
point,
up the dam.
Well, and the fire follows him
Oh,
down
Jesus.
the dam.
Yeah.
Like what? I'm
What?
not sure why the
And
fire
why-
follows
what-
him.
What
But-
happens at that point? Dante's trying to kill him then, right?
Yeah, it's over. He just wants to kill him.
But what's over? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like he's like, I'm gonna hurt you so bad. I kidnapped
gonna
your
kill
son
you.
for
I'm gonna kill
15
you."
minutes.
Well, he's got him and the son, so I guess he figures, well, those are the most. If he sees
I
the
guess.
son die,
So I
then
guess we're saying that like now that he's done with The Rock, that's why he moves on. Now that he's done with Dom, now that's why he's moved on to Hobbs.
Sure.
yeah, I don't know where that
Why
when
not?
that takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie sucks.
So-
this franchise is gonna
That's
make
where
$1
we leave it.
billion. Yeah, it's gonna make $1 billion or whatever, and we're gonna get 17 more of these.
It's so bad. It's not bad in a bad, it's good way. It's bad in a way that's
Nah.
boring and stupid, and it's just, I'm ready for them to be over. If I didn't have to review this and I knew this was multiple parts, I definitely would not want to see it until there was some
No.
kind of an ending. There's nothing
no,
keeping
no.
me on the hook to care about these movies.
Not at all.
Well, and
No,
when
and
you end it on that much of a mid-story beat and
Yeah,
you still
right,
don't
right.
care, that's
Yeah.
a problem,
Right.
right? That's a
It
problem.
just makes me mad. I have to wait to
Yeah.
see more of these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing
So,
happened, right? Like this feels like for the next movie, basically this movie could have not happened. Nothing changed in this movie. I guess
No,
you could
'cause
say
no
John
one
Cena
died.
died,
Well,
but I
well, John
don't think
Cena,
he did.
but-
John Cena and everybody on
No.
that plane.
Oh right, but
Oh, yeah.
essentially, right? Like nothing happened.
Nope.
He tried.
But again, that goes back to show you how far the franchise has gone off the rails, right? When they've for all practical intents and purposes, it appears they've killed like 4 major characters.
Sure, yeah.
But no part of you is like, oh, they killed 4 major characters. You're like,
oh,
no, they didn't.
Okay, that was the other thing. When Brie Larson gets shot, right? She gets shot. in
she
the shoulder.
acts
Yeah.
like that is a
That's
mortifying.
it. They are acting like I'm like, dude, it's a through and through flesh wound. Like,
Yeah.
what are you? You're
in
a
her
secret
shoulder.
agent.
It wasn't in the chest. It
No,
was
like
in her
legit
top.
in her shoulder.
I know,
Right.
and she's like, she's bleeding to hospital. She's bleeding out. It's like, what are you talking about?
Just
Did
plug it up.
did they just go? We're gonna decide where she got shot later. Just act really
Oh
hurt.
yeah.
It was
The
brilliant.
CGI guy put the bullet wound in the wrong spot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, Vin Diesel. These people can get blown up and beat up and hit with whatever and roll around.
I mean,
And
he straight up had a wrench fight.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And she gets shot in the shoulder, and that they act like that's the biggest deal in these movies. Like, what rules are we living by in these movies? There's no set.
I would
Yeah.
never do it, but I would. I want to go back, or I want to find a YouTube video of somebody pointing out to me like where people switch sides and if that makes any sense. I don't feel like Ames works. Like
I think Ames works in that he should have been a good guy.
No,
but why?
Ames-
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why did he ever? Why did they
Ames-
do the whole thing of him pretending to trust?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Ames
Dumb.
works because they need a reason for you to believe, like, well, yeah, we've been on all these secret missions and saved the world. Why would they turn on us now? And it makes sense that Ames is
No,
just
but
allowing
I'm
Jason to
saying-
hunt them.
But I'm saying that right. That's fine. Like he's the new guy. He's gonna be by the book. But then they have the moment where it's like, you know what, Dom? Now I trust you. But then they have the, you know what, Dom? I've been working with Dante
I'm gonna
the whole
shoot your
time.
friends
Because
with a
he
rocket
had
launcher.
to let him go so that he could do the cat and mouse thing. Like, I mean, I know it's stupid and far-fetched, but Ames allows him to trust him so he could go and fall into the next trap. Now, it's a very Bond villain type of thing, but that's what they're doing.
But the next trap is the one where he tries to kill him, but they could have just killed him on
Ames
that.
can't kill him, but
No, but
like,
Kill him. He can kill him.
Dante shoots everybody from the helicopter.
And
they
then
could've-
Ames takes a shot to the chest, but then he starts firing back at the other guys.
but Ames didn't. But Dante
what are
didn't
we
want.
doing? What are we
Dante
doing?
didn't
What-
want Finn to die at that time. It isn't until he realizes that this guy has like caused so much destruction. He's got him and his son. He changes his mind, I think, at the dam where he's like, okay, this is done.
So is this
Okay.
podcast. Bye.
Bye. Oh wait, you guys do more. You guys do more. That's
So if you want to have any hope for the next one, it appears to be the first one that's written or co-written by a woman. The
Oh,
next
that's great.
Fast and Furious movie is
There's your
co-written by
all-female one.
Christina Hodson, who wrote Bumblebee.
Well, so maybe that
Okay,
makes sense. Maybe
okay.
for them to set that up with the new team out in Antarctica, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
okay. Bumblebee was
Make
good.
of that what you will. So
Okay.
anyway, I guess that's it for this one. Let's go around the virtual table and everyone can say where to find them.
This is Joe. You can follow me on the Twitter at Joey Butts, BUTTS21, also on Letterboxd at the same.
This is Kevin. Follow me on Twitter at Kevin R. Brackett.
I'm Matt. It's
And
good luck.
Matt, Well, where can they?
They'll never find me. I'm in the wind, like Mr. Nobody.
You have a new single out though.
I have a new album out.
All right, that's-
Wow, Joe.
And you know what?
Yeah, but he only liked one song.
I like that one song.
Well, yeah. Good luck finding it.
So, and you can find me on Twitter at Roger Kubert or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online at facebook.com/Real Spoilers. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our Patreon. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, Charlotte is pregnant.
Get ready for a spoiler. Won't say it twice, cause we already